Today, we're making a beautiful, traditional lasagna. You'll need beef and veal mince, fresh sheets of lasagna, tins of tomato paste, chicken stock. I'm using chicken, you can use beef. Mozzarella, Parmesan, onion, thyme, garlic for a bit of extra spice, pancetta, carrots, and celery. Let's cook. First things first, we have to make a sofrito, which is just basically onion, celery, carrot, and garlic. We're going to cook all that off right at the beginning. Now you can cut these up really small. You cut them in half again if you want to get a really fine dice, but I don't want it because I want it to be a little bit rustic in texture, okay? Okay, so here's our sofrito. We've got carrot, celery, onion, and tucked in there underneath all that is our garlic, not too finely cut, okay? Okay, I've got a really beautiful bit of pancetta that I got this morning from Paran Market, fresh. Now, you can use lots of different things, bacon, whatever, but I like pancetta. It gives a little bit of, a bit more saltiness to it, and also it gives the sauce a bit of creaminess, okay? This is about 250 grams, okay, which is more than enough for what we're cooking. It's time to cook. Now, I went out yesterday and I bought this, what do they call it? Kitchen knob, Tefal portable hot plate, basically. So I'm road testing it for the first time today. So, well, anything could happen. We're going to put our sofrito now into our pan. All right, we're going to cook this off, and after this is all cooked off, we've sweated it out a little bit, we're going to throw in our pancetta. Pancetta. In it goes. Here we go. Now you'll look at this and you might think, oh, it's a little bit dry down there, I need a little bit more oil, but you don't. Once that pancetta starts cooking off, it'll start to drop its natural oil flavours. Very tasty, very delicious. So what I've got here is I've got a kilo of veal and pork mince, which release the best flavour for bolognese is veal and pork mince. Okay, so with your mince, you want to kind of just put it in, you want to break it up a little bit. You don't want to dump it all in one go. Too hard to stir through, right? Your best friend here in terms of flavour is the fattiness released from the meat and the pancetta. It'll just give your sauce such beautiful creaminess and flavour. Okay, now I've broken that up. I'm going to stir this through. Pancetta, the pork, the veal, the sofrito, everything in together, and then we're going to let it. We don't put any liquids in until this veal and pork mince is cooked through. Pop this in. And because I want extra punch in this, I'm going to add 2. So potentially this will make up between a litre and a litre and a half of stock. And then tomatoes, tomato paste, and for each tin of tomato you throw in, you put the equal amount of water in that tin. So you swish it around and tip it in. One, 2, 3. All right, now mix all this through. Okay, so now it's time for our bechamel. A couple of rules making bechamel: butter and flour and milk and Parmesan cheese, pecorino or romano. Look, I don't mind what kind of Parmesan you use, really. You want to put the butter in until the butter melts and starts to sizzle a little bit, then you put your flour in. Get all those little bit of lumpy bits out. Now, people stir it with a wooden spoon, but I can't stir that quick. I often make this mistake. I've run out of milk, and I can tell this is going to be a bit thick, so I need to add more milk to it. So I'm just going to nick off to the milk bar, which is just around the corner. I'll be 5 minutes. Mentally stir this for me while I'm gone, will you? I'm back. I've got my milk, and you've been stirring it mentally while I've been gone. This is fantastic. It's not thick, It's perfect. See this, I'm adding a little bit by little bit now. Because as this cools down too, it's going to get thicker. And we kind of want it cool. We want to put this together when things have cooled down a little bit. I've got this grated grana padano, which I find it easier than just grating cheese in. So this is freshly grated. I'm not doing anything dodgy here, and I'm just going to add a nice little sprinkle or two to my sauce. I like a nice cheesy bechamel when I'm making lasagna, and I pop this through. And also what I might do is I'll just add a sprinkle of salt. Okay, I've added a tiny bit more Parmesan. Oh, it's perfect. It's not heavily cheese, but it's got a little tang to it. It's got that little edge of cheesiness. It's nice, creamy. Now we just let it come to a gentle simmer, and we'll let it simmer for about 3 or 4 minutes, stirring so it doesn't catch on the bottom and burn, all right? Okay, this is ready now. I'm just gonna take it off, let it cool down a bit. Okay, we are ready to assemble. We've got all our components. We've got the bolognese cooked, we've got the bechamel, we've got the mozzarella, we've got the freshly grated grana padano, and I've got a little bit of hand grating to do on the very top. But of course, we've got the beautiful, fresh lasagna sheets from John at Paran Market. And I'll tell you what, John taught me a little trick, which just quietly I'm going to call a lasagna game changer. Now this is the game changer. So instead of layering again like that, what we're going to do is we're going to layer like so. Like a bit like a patchwork quilt, if you like, okay? Like this. Now the reason we do the crisscross is so when we serve it, it doesn't fall away at the sides. The presentation is absolutely spot on. So before I grate, I'm just going to roll these sides up. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a little bit of a kind of, I don't know, what would you call this? Just a little, nice little kind of presentation idea. Roll these sides up, like so. Look at this, looks amazing. Time for the oven. Okay, so we've got it in the oven now at about 180 to 200 for about an hour, or until it's nice and crispy and golden. You've got those little bits of burnt bits around the outside. And here you are, perfect. Look at that, everything you want in a lasagna. Burnt, crispy bits, golden brown, delicious. Bon appetit.